And we're talking about the ACE 360 Tour tournament, which would be taking place later this month. Now, this will be the first time ever that a tournament has been put together for the national rankings of kids aged between 3 and 12. I've been speaking with some of the participants ahead of this tournament. So welcome, guys. Nayram, how are you doing today?
Good.
You're doing good?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Jenealle, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing.
Fantastic. Andy, how are you doing as well?
Fine.
Okay, great. So we're going to be talking about some tennis today, right? And we'll be starting off with your interest. How come you started playing tennis? Let me start with you, Nayram.
I started playing tennis when I was 3 years old. And when I was in the house, Rafa Nadal was playing against Dominic Thiem. And in the Roland Garros, that's when I fell in love with playing tennis.
Jenealle, how did you get into tennis?
So, first, my dad was teaching me how to play tennis at the age of 2. And as I was growing and growing, I got more interested in playing tennis. And then I started playing with a coach called Coach Na in July.
Okay. Interesting. Andy, how about you? What's your tennis story like?
I was playing tennis because my dad plays it, and he was teaching me how to play tennis. He bought me a USA Open tennis racket when I was 3, and then he hung a ball on the ceiling, and then I was practicing playing tennis.
That's interesting. I love how all of you, go into tennis. All of you have role models in tennis, right?
Yes.
Great, good. Let me start with you, Nayram. Who's your role model and who do you look up to?
I have 2 role models. My first role model is Rafa Nadal. I like him because he plays with a lot of power and passion. And I like Roger Federer because he has a lot of technique when he's hitting a ball.
Interesting. And what about you, Jenealle?
Okay, so I look up to Serena Williams because she also tries her best to get the ball. She tries her best to get the ball, and I like her because she's always trying her best to get the ball, and she's using all her courage and she's disciplined too.
Interesting. Andy, what about you?
My role model is Novak Djokovic, and I like him because he has won 19 Grand Slams.
Yeah. Now he's actually made it 20. Do you think he's the greatest of all time?
Yes. He's the world number 1.
He's the world number 1 there. Well, do you agree with him? Do you think Djokovic is the greatest of all time? Or you think Nadal?
I think all are the greatest.
All are the greatest. What about you?
I think Djokovic is not really good because he's smashing his racket every time when he's angry.
You think that's not good?
But even though you don't miss, you just have to try and see what you can do better. You just have to be trained not to smash your racket in the middle of a game.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Andy? He says that Djokovic keeps on smashing his racket. Do you think it's something he can improve on?
When he smashes the racket, he just gets a new one. But when he finishes it, it's all for him.
Okay. So guys, I know you are young and you go to school and you play tennis. How is it like, balancing schoolwork with tennis too? How does it feel like?
It's hard and difficult because I do classes 5 times each day, and also I go on court on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So the days I have to go to school when I'm doing classes, it's hard for me to balance it.
And what about you?
Okay, so I think it's easy for me because doing schoolwork may be difficult, and playing tennis may be hard and difficult as well and tiring, but it's still easy for me.
Interesting. We've had one who says, Nayram says it's difficult. Jenealle says it's easy. Where do you fall?
Mine is just normal for me because I just play tennis regularly, and sometimes I even go on Sundays with my dad and play tennis.
So there's a big tournament coming up for kids, the ACE 360 tournament. All of you are going to be part. So I want to hear your thoughts, preparation, and what your expectations are. Jenealle, how prepared are you, and are you confident you are going to win?
Yes.
Yes. To which one? How confident are you? Are you prepared?
I'm very prepared, and also I'm wishing to be the first.
Is this your first ever tennis tournament?
Yeah, it is my first ever tournament.
So are you a bit scared?
I'm not a bit scared because I have a lot of time to practice my tennis to the day we have the tournament.
Okay. Andy, I heard you saying this is your second tournament. How did the first one go?
The first one went well.
And this time, are you hoping to finish first? How is preparation going for you?
The preparation is going well, and I think I'm going to win the tournament.
You think you're going to win the tournament? That's good. I'll come back and check once the tournament is over. But Nayram, let me come to you. Both of them are very, very prepared, and they all think they're going to win. What about you? How confident are you?
I am very confident, and I've also played a tournament too.
Which tournament was that?
It was in the clay courts on Christmas. This Christmas Day, I was 4 years old playing tennis, and I'm confident I'm going to win my second tennis tournament. I'm prepared.
Between the clay courts and the hard court, which one do you prefer?
I prefer both.
You prefer both? Okay. Let's talk about your training sessions. What's a normal workout day like for you? What are some of the drills that you do?
Sometimes on drills, I go for a walk. I jog around the house. I take my dog out for a run. And then sometimes I just do push-ups up to 15 to 60.
Okay, that's interesting. Andy said sometimes he goes for walks, he jogs around, and he does push-ups. What are some of the things that you do for training and workout?
Well, every time I come to training, it's the same thing. I jog around the court, then I do some physical trainings, then I hit some balls, then I play a fun game, then I go home.
Interesting. Jenealle, what about you?
So, yeah, I'll just come and then I have to run around the court 5 or more times and then jog on the ladder, skip over the step, and then I'll start with what I actually do. So there are lots of physical things that we all have to do.
Yeah, it's true.
And also my dad plays tennis. He helps me whenever we go to our second house.
Okay.
My dad also plays
Your
tennis.
dad also plays tennis?
Yes.
So it's interesting. Wait, all of you, your dads play tennis, right?
Better than him.
You're better than your dad.
My dad
Wow.
is better than me. And also,
And your dad also plays tennis? Your dad also
I've
plays tennis?
won, what do you call it? 8 matches, and he has won 6.
Against him, so you beat your dad. What about you? Do you also beat your dad?
yeah, I do, because my dad can't hit a ball all the way to my neighbor's house, but I did, even in the gutter.
And what about you, sir? Nayram, do you also beat your dad?
Yes, I've won like 20 matches against us, and sometimes when I'm hitting a ball, I accidentally hit it on the top of our house roof.
Oh, wow. So it looks like the parents have to do better because, the 3 kids, Andy, Jenealle, and then Nayram, seem to be all beating their parents. But guys...
My mom, she can't even play tennis.
She can't even play tennis.
Me too.
Your mom can also play. Andy, can your mom play?
Yes.
Your mom can play.
My mom is trying to learn, but she can only jog.
Hopefully
mom
you
just
guys have to teach your parents, okay? But before you go, I just need one word from each of you, okay? What's the one advice that you get from your coach that you take away always? Okay, who wants to start? Let me start with you, Andy. What's the one advice?
My coach now said that every time I lose a match, I should not be bad and be angry. But it means I should just train more.
Okay.
And I want children to look at me and tell them that they want to play like me on TV. And then they have to exercise on tennis and then don't do screen time a lot.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Andy. Andy says that Coach Na says that when he loses, he shouldn't keep his head down, he shouldn't be angry. And he also goes on to say that he wants children to watch him all around the world and want to be like him in future. What's the one advice from Coach Na?
So Coach Na,
what are your future aspirations too?
whenever I did something right, then she said that I should keep it up. So I want to tell the children that are listening that they should always believe in themselves.
All right. Thank you very much, Jenealle. Nayram, what about you?
Well, Coach Na always tells me that when I'm playing tennis, it does not matter about the point. It matters that having a fair game and playing the balls well. That's what matters. And
What do you have to say to kids out there?
they should always believe in themselves, and they should not always think of themselves.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure speaking to you, Andy, and all the best in the tournament. Jenealle, all the best in the tournament, and Nayram, all the best in the tournament. Of the participants getting ready for the ACE 360 Tour Tournament. We'll bring you more updates as it takes place later this month. My name is Owuraku Ampofo, and that's how we wrap up the sport here.